Well, we're here in Arizona, guys. Right on the other side of the Colorado River. We made it in. We turned down Oatman Road right here. It's a big old sign. No vehicles over 20 feet in length. And we are 56 foot. So as soon as we get into Arizona, we can't go to Oatman. This is historic Route 66. That's I-40 right there. Route 66 goes under this bridge, which we will fit underneath technically, but there are road restrictions and they won't allow you to travel in a vehicle over 20 feet. So I can sit here and be grumpy, or we can get our swimming suit and load it up with sunscreen. It's 107 degrees. Welcome to Arizona. We're gonna head down to the Colorado River and go dunk and think about our life choices. Okay? Come on with us, guys. NautiBus is good. Both air conditioners are set. Mini splits, we're good. Let's go have some fun in the river. All right, we're walking down the trail. Look at the color of the water, guys. There was a fire here recently. You can see part of the ground is burnt right here. There's a boat right there docked. There's a couple jet skis over there coming underneath the overpass there. Again, that's I-40 there. And this is the Colorado River. That is California. This is Arizona. And I want to go dunk right there. It's party central here on the Colorado River. Nobody is afraid of triple digits. Nobody is concerned about it here on the water. This is what you do in Arizona. We are also just about 20 miles north of Lake Havasu City. So I don't know, maybe some of these people are also coming up from there to enjoy the day. But yeah, look at how clear the Colorado River is today. That is gorgeous. That's what's up, guys. It took me about 15 minutes to get this far underwater, but it feels amazing. I've been in the Colorado River plenty of times. I've even been in the Colorado River in the winter up between Quartzsite, Ehrenberg, Blythe area, or down, that'd be down that way, and never seen the water this crystal clear, beautiful, like almost spring water. It's mountain fed, I know that. It's coming from the Colorado Rockies, probably. It's the Colorado River. So Diane and I have been talking, thinking things over, and so we can still get to Oatman, Arizona and Route 66, but we're kind of being forced by laws here in Arizona to do the bypass back on Interstate 40 to go to Kingman would be our next stop. But we have some friends here in the Mohave Desert area who have invited us to come park the RV on their property, and then we can take Silverback, the Harley, on the twisting, winding, hilly roads up to Oatman. So we're not gonna miss it. We're just going to have to change some things around, a lot like how we did when we first left. So we're gonna wait until our friends get off work and then text us, and then we're gonna hop up there and go get checked in. It's also really hot, so if we wanna leave, it has to be in the daytime where we know the kiddies have air conditioning from the bus. 107, you know, if the air conditioner goes off for some reason, it can easily get up to 140 or 50 degrees inside the bus, and that is something we have to consider, you know. This feels amazing. This is awesome. This is exactly what we needed because we were feeling a little boo-hoo as soon as we came in Arizona, but it's all gonna be okay. We're gonna figure this out. It's the next day, guys. Hey, battling. We are battling it here. I knew when we left LA on this Route 66 trip that there were going to be some challenges. I knew it wasn't going to be easy. I don't think I've ever been in heat like this in my entire life. And unfortunately, Diana and I have learned that our bus is not as prepared for the summer heat as we had hoped, even with the 5,500 watts of solar and a 240 volt split phase mini split. There are still some things that cannot magically be done in this. And this, I am standing outside. It's 109 degrees today. It's going to continue to get warmer and warmer. And I know what you're thinking, Eric, just get out of the Mojave Desert. Well, there's still Route 66 here in the Mojave Desert. I completely skipped over Needles, California. And, you know, we had plans, we wanted to do this, and I've never felt this kind of heat. And unfortunately, yesterday, Diane and I did run into a problem, and that was at 7 p.m., it was still 104 degrees at 7 p.m. And my batteries had actually gone down to 71%, meaning we were at that threshold where we needed to turn off the air conditioning, which wasn't even keeping up. Now look, I'm not complaining, I'm not saying this, I'm not trying to make a big deal of something that's not a big deal, but I will let you know, it's difficult when the best we could do was to cool the inside main compartment of the bus down to 84 degrees. Or up to 84 degrees. So set to the lowest, compressors are not turning off at all, and the lowest comfortable that we could get inside yesterday was 84 degrees with air conditioning running max. And we knew that we had to turn it off yesterday unless we came up with a plan. So I still think that that's amazing in itself. It was 107 degrees yesterday here in the Mojave Desert, and we were able to still be semi-comfortable in here at 84 degrees inside the bus. It's that dry heat, remember? So luckily, our friends here, as you can see, they have a shop here, Bob and Tam. They have electrical hookups here, so we were able to, instead of turning off the air conditioning last night, we were able to plug in 50 amp for the first time since last summer, actually, at Billy and Michelle's place in Mississippi. So let me show you. So there's a plug and a cord that I have not used in a year plugged into 50 amp here, and that is keeping us going a little better today. Well, definitely last night. See, last night with the 5,000 watts going into the RV, it was making the inverter and the mini split system actually be a little more efficient. And I would say by 10 p.m. we were down to 75 degrees in here, and then overnight we came all the way down to 70. Now today's a different story. Even being plugged in and getting all the solar here at 11:30 a.m., it's already 78 degrees inside the bus, despite the fact that both mini splits are set to full blast on in there. That's as good as we can do. Now look, I've never had another RV or vehicle even perform this well in 107 degree weather out here. Tomorrow, they are forecasting 110 degrees, and then the day after, 112 degrees right here. This is not the place that we want to be, but we're enjoying our time with Bob and Tam. They're motorcycle vloggers, so they're actually gearing up to pack up their RV and their Harleys and go to Sturgis. They're going to go 2 months early to Sturgis, South Dakota, and I don't blame them. This is a great place in the winter, but, you know, once you start going over 110 degrees, it's almost strange to be out here right now breathing in that hot air. So luckily we're doing okay. We are doing okay. As a matter of fact, Bob's like, "Oh, this is nothing. This is nothing. It gets up to 120 out here, Eric." Like, oh my gosh. So Bob wants to go out on a ride. So we may leave tomorrow morning, him and I, take our Harleys out super early before it hits 100 degrees, like, 95, 99, something like that, and go explore some stuff out here, Route 66 related. Otherwise, Diana and I she doesn't want to go on the Harley in this kind of heat, and it's not going to be comfortable. And yeah, it's crazy. Let's go inside. I can't. I've been drinking lots of water and staying very hydrated. So again, I do have this mini split set to 62. That's not going to mean much to you, except that all day, no matter what, it is never going to turn off. It's not going to cycle off once. It's going to run full blast until about 10 or 11 p.m. today to keep us. Well, hopefully we're not going to hit 80 degrees inside today. We're going to see, because we turned it on early. We're plugged into power. This should be running more efficiently with charged batteries. Actually, it's bypassing the batteries and inverter completely. We are just pulling directly from the pedestal 50 amps. So today will be a good test to see if by 2 o'clock the interior temperature inside here goes up over 80 degrees. It's not impossible. I mean, we can do it. We've probably done worse in vans. You guys have probably lived or slept in a vehicle that was over 90 degrees inside overnight. It's uncomfortable, but it's not impossible. I worry about the pets a little bit, and then I saw Tara up here. Oh, she's not here now. She was actually laying here in front of the reflective cover for the windshield in the sun with the heat. Like, I did move her. I kind of don't want her up there anymore, actually. But yeah, I've been staying very hydrated with ice water and trying to stay away from beer and soda. And we're just going to come up with a plan and kind of see how we want to do this. Maybe filming in the morning. We probably won't be riding until we get to cooler temperatures here in Arizona. We've just gotten into Arizona. I don't want to miss Oatman, even though our RV doesn't fit up there. Bob and Tam have offered to take us up there in their pickup truck with air conditioning even. So, heck yeah, I think that's a great idea. Why not? I don't have to prove to everyone that I can do it in 110 degrees on the bike, right? So we're kind of changing our plans. We're switching things up a little bit. And just trying to figure out what we want to do. Kingman's still warm, Seligman's still warm, but then you get to Williams, and it looks like they're in the 80s in Williams. And then, of course, Flagstaff up in the mountains and that part of Route 66. So that's where we want to get to, but I'm not just going to skip stuff because it's hot. So we're utilizing this time to kind of regroup and enjoy being plugged in and kind of test this theory out, because until now, I did not know how the mini splits were going to keep up with temperatures over 100 degrees. This is the first test we've got, and I don't think we're ever going to test this again in the 110s or 112s. There's no need to boondock in that kind of weather, but I will say, if we ever run into a problem, I have 2 generators on board. I'm not going to turn the air conditioning off at 7 p.m. when the batteries start getting too low. I'm going out there and I'm going to fire up that generator and I'm going to make sure that we're comfortable until midnight, you know. So there's always a way around things, but it is definitely warm today, and it is warm in the Mojave Desert. And the ground is hot, so I don't even think Yang would want to go outside and stand on those rocks. That's crazy. It's very warm. Keep that covered. So there's a lot going on in this video, if you can't tell. I know this is not part of Route 66, but this is my vlog, this is my channel. I'm still including this video in my Route 66 playlist for reference because Diana and I are learning a lot about what's going on right now, and this being the first, big test on everything. So we're both in there watching Justin Scard doing a Route 66 video, and the internet went out. Unusual for Starlink to have an outage like that. We waited like 10 minutes, we restarted the TV, tried to connect, and it says no internet. We came out here and I found out that Starlink was off. There was no power to Starlink. And the reason for that, after I opened the trailer door here, was because my inverter had shut down and had the alarm going for high temperature. It had reached more than 140 degrees internally and shut off our power. That has never happened in 13 years on the road. I opened up the trailer door. I opened up the back ramp door to try to get some, it's 109 degrees right now. So 109 degree air coming in, hoping that we can get it under 140, right? Inverter came back on, gave us internet for about 30 minutes before, you guessed it, shutting off again. Now we've got my Ryobi fan aimed right at the inverter right there. Right there. I let that cool it off for about a half an hour before I tried again, and I don't know if you can see the green light on it. We are currently powered back up. We have power and internet once again. For how long? I don't know. We're kind of just making this up as we go. This is uncharted territory on the road for us here in Arizona. Diane and I are perfectly fine. We are so happy and thankful to have power hookups here at Bob and Tam's. There's just no other way we could have done this without, for one, turning back around and giving up on Route 66 or bypassing a lot of Route 66 to get out of this extreme dangerous heat here, and there's gonna be some surprises either way. We're just trying to get by right now. I'm sorry if this video isn't fun, but we are safe, everything is okay. We're gonna be trying something tonight, a little test. Actually, I'll just go ahead and tell you now. Since we have the ability to plug in the power anytime we want, I'm gonna unplug the power again because we're back to 100%. We're gonna set both mini splits to Eco 75. That'll lower the ramp, the fans down, and try to maintain 75. And I wanna see tonight what happens. When that sun goes down, with those on eco, how much less of a battery will it kill between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. where it was pulling 1800 watts and we still needed it because it was 104 degrees yesterday, you know? So we'll see if we can get somewhere closer to only getting down to like 75% battery at 10 p.m. and still livable in there. I don't know if it's gonna work. We're gonna test it out today, and then no matter what, at night or tomorrow morning, I can plug the power back in and we can get caught back up rather than doing this off-grid in an environment and having to run a generator, okay? So we're doing a few of those different tests today. But as far as overheating appliances, didn't have that one on my bingo card either, guys. Just so you know, yeah, my test didn't go so well tonight, but either way, either tomorrow or the next day when it's 112, we are definitely going to Oatman. Definitely either gonna ride it on the bike or we're gonna go in Bob and Tam's car. So that, yeah, it's fine. But anyway, that, yeah, that didn't really work. It still pulls too much power. It is 101 degrees here at 8:04 p.m. Still triple digits after 8 p.m. I can't believe it. But again, the funny thing is I'm not actually sweating. Yeah, it's warm, but I'm not sweating like I would be down in the southeast. So that's kind of cool. This is just one of those videos where it's like, okay, this is our first big test, right? I mean, I don't even know if this is ever going to happen. Will I ever find myself in triple digits again for this test? Maybe it's not even fair for this bus to actually do that, but you know, going back, it's funny to me now because we can't keep up. We don't have enough power or battery bank or whatever it is. But either way, it's like I go back to all the comments from when I was building this bus and all the people who said, you know, Eric, 5,500 watts of solar on the roof? That's overkill. You don't need it. A 240 volt split phase inverter. Eric, that's overkill. A 48 volt battery? Come on, Eric. You don't need a dual mini split system with 2 head units at 22 kBTU, Eric. Sealing up and insulating the bottom of every single window on this bus all the way. Eric, that's overkill. You didn't need to do that. Having custom made thermal blackout curtains made for the entire bus, Eric, that's overkill. I set the motion sensor off. It's overkill, Eric. You don't need to have a gap between the solar panels and the roof, Eric. That's overkill. Henry's rubber roof sealer on the roof between that, Eric, you don't need that. Just white paint. So all this stuff I did that was overkill in the past 2 years, and here we are. We can't even get ahead today here. Now, again, this is not the end of the world, okay? It's 110 degrees and we are comfortably at 8 p.m. We're sitting here at 80 degrees inside. And in less than 2 hours, it's gonna be down under 75 in there. So it is not the end of the world. It's nothing to be like upset about. This is our very first test of this nature, and I don't know that it's going to happen too many more times on the road, but it is what it is. I learned a lot. We all learned a lot. We learned that it's still not enough. There may not be any way to ever comfortably cool a bus of this nature, no matter what you do and how much you spend, if you're going to be in temperatures over 109 degrees, period. Now, would it be nice to have an additional battery capacity overnight? Absolutely. In fact, just doubling my one 300 amp hour 48 volt battery might make it so that if I put these mini splits on eco mode, we can make it overnight till the next day when the sun comes back up. That is definitely a possibility that I have thought about. We might make it if I double my battery capacity. So I'll have to save up for another $5,000 battery. I'm just kidding. It's not even that important. Okay. So anyway, in my next video, actually stick around. I'm going to put a video out in just 2 days, guys. I'll be right back and we'll go to Oatman and we'll do the Sidewinder up there, the longest stretch of original Route 66 alignment in my next video. See you in 2 days. Bye, guys.